you can just about see me, but it's her that you need to see, it's more important. So a few of you asked about how to teach a rollover, and I think I mentioned on my little post this morning that it's not my favourite thing to teach, particularly for a big dog, and that's basically because when you're training it, there is a danger that you can freak them out a little bit, unless you're a bit careful, all right? And that's why I don't really like teaching it without me being there. So there's a word of caution really that you need to be a little bit careful with this, because, or even though it's a natural behaviour for dogs to roll over, when they do it naturally, the momentum takes them, all right? So they kind of, I know Murphy does it. He kind of like he runs and then he launches into it and he rolls over. I've not really seen her do it very much actually, which may be possibly why she finds it a little bit difficult. But the thing is, when they're doing it naturally, they can just kind of do it at their own speed. So it's a bit like learning the roly-poly when we were kids. That bit where you're in that moment of suspension where you think you're a bit disorientated, you don't really know where up or down. Can we lie down, please? Where up or down is. It's a little bit similar to dogs. So they get to the point of no return, and it's at that point where they struggle a little bit. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to break it down and show you how I would train it. She doesn't know rollover, and I've never been able to teach it to Murphy. I did try when I went on a trick trainer's 5-day course, and my mission was to teach him a rollover, but I never did it because he found it too difficult. And my philosophy really with dogs is that if they're not enjoying it, it's too difficult for them in terms of physically difficult, then there's no point in teaching it. But those of you with more agile dogs and smaller dogs, they will find this a lot easier. All right, so a bigger set dog will find it difficult. So step number 1 is I'll always start from a down, because then later on you can back train it a little bit and get the either if you want to do like a bang or you want to do like just a hand cue. Oh, thank you, Ruby. That's just exactly what I needed. Then you can build that in later. But I'll always start from the down. Now, I think you saw probably, you can't see her bottom, but she just did a weight shift. She was in a bit of a sphinx down, so I'm going to try and get her back into that because I want to show you what you would do as the first step. So can we get up? Lie down. Down. So you can see that she's in quite a square down. Now, if we started trying to get her to roll over from that position, it's not going to work. So the first thing we need to do is get her bum to flop over as if she's in a settled position. Good girl. So you can see there that she's settled, her back legs have come out underneath her, and she's in what I would call a settled position. So those of you wanting to teach her settle, that's how you do that. Then the next step is for her to kind of sort of again shift her weight more towards, it's difficult to describe really, so bending her head in towards her belly so that she becomes flatter, right? So her body is a bit flatter. So that's kind of step number 2. So step number 1 is get them into a flopped bum position, right? So they're more likely to be able to make that maneuver. Then you want to turn their head, good, so they can lie flat, okay? That tends to be where I normally leave it, to be honest, and I'll teach a play dead from there. But I know you lot want to do it, so we'll try. So that I would do that for a little while, just so that your dogs get used to sort of dropping that shoulder, all right? Because until they can do that, they can't do anything else. And then what you want to see is, and you can see her front foot coming up a little bit, you want to see a bit of leg lift, good, right, from both sides, so front leg and back leg. So that would be step number 3, all right? So you're moving that head around and you're getting a little bit, yes, good girl, a little bit of leg lift. I think you probably saw that. She's so mouthy on the treats, it's just quite hard to teach this. Right, so again, leg, yeah, good. Oh, goodness me, she did it. So she's never done that before. But I don't know if you saw how by doing it, she got a little bit freaked out. Yeah, because she realised that she had to go because there was no other way of going. Now, I wasn't planning on doing that quick. Good girl. I'm just going to feed her a little bit just to make sure she realised that it's not scary. It's not scary. But it was good in a way because you could see what happens, right? So when they start to go, that's it. They've got to go, and it can freak them out a little bit. Can we lie down? She's very resilient, so I wouldn't worry too much. Right, so weight shift. Can we go that way? Good. Good girl. It's good practice for her settle position anyway. Good, that's better. Good. Yeah, good. I'll take the front legs, that's fine. What we're looking for is both legs to go up. Yes, good girl. See, she's a little bit reluctant to roll over now, and I think that's because she did spook herself a minute ago. Good girl. Good. Yes, good girl. So we've got a bit of a back leg lift there. So this is still really step 3 or 4. Ooh, good girl. So you can see there that just that last bit is really hard for them. And I don't know, for me, I just don't like that sort of feeling that they're going to fall. Kind of always want to support them a little bit, but they've got to try and learn to do it themselves. Good. Okay, good girl. Right, I'm going to give her a little break. Basically, once you've got those legs lifting, so the top legs going over, you just want to kind of build up that confidence and be able to hold that position a little bit. I've run out of treats, Rubes. Because then what you should find is what she did earlier is that they will then flop. The rest of it is kind of just gravity, really. We'll just try one more. I know. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, it's okay. Oh, I just don't want to do it now. I just don't want to do it, so that's fine. So I will see if I can do a little bit more with her later, maybe. But it's somewhere to start. Oh, but all I would say is just take it really carefully, because it's not easy, is it? It's not easy. But like I say, some of you with, especially Lauren, with your collies and with little dogs, they'll find this much easier. She's a bit of a lump, so it's just a bit harder. Make sure you do it on a rug or a soft surface. Probably do with something a little bit softer on here, actually, just to give her a little bit more comfort when she goes over. But yeah, have a little go and see how you get on. Good girl, well done.